Hello, Jeremy Cleaver along with Bridie Lawton from Ray White Eltham, and it gives us great pleasure to bring to you our March quarter rental market wrap. These videos are designed to give any aspiring investor some information, good advice about whether to buy and whether to expand. It's been a fantastic rental environment in the Diamond Valley. The December quarter finished off with a bang. There's been no let up in demand. Some standout moments over the March quarter. Bridie, what have you seen in the last 3 months?
Yeah, I've got two bedroom properties that come to mind. We've got 2/182 Grimshaw Street. That property leased out for $500 per week in just 9 days. We also had 13 Reeve Street in Watsonia. That property also leasing out for $500 per week in just 15 days. So that's beating the average. The average weekly rent for a 2-bedroom property in the Greensboro, Watsonia area is $393 per week.
Fantastic. So compared to the December quarter, Watsonia has generally been one of those areas that has struggled a little bit. And good to see that Ray White Eltham's still been able to perform under the average days on market.
Yeah, the average days on market for Watsonia are 37 days, where for Ray White Eltham it's 22 days, so almost half the average days on market.
Very good. Still no let up in the demand for our rental properties. Multiple renters coming through with applications. It's funny because we've had a lot of investors come on board and ask us questions about, hey, I'm looking to expand my portfolio, looking to start my portfolio. What are some of the tips you can give us? And that's probably a great time now to be going over those in terms of the top 5 tips that you could give any investor before they go and buy their first investment property.
Yeah, there is 5 main tips. So the position, don't buy a property that's close to freeways, high traffic areas, it's not appealing. The second tip would be amenities. Make sure your property is close to things. So you've got schools, cafes, public transport. That's what's appealing to new renters. The third would have to be your goals. Make sure your property suits your goals. Crunch the numbers, take everything into consideration. Make sure having this property will build you wealth. The fourth would be market. Listen to the market. Are you buying a property that is suitable for the demographic in that area? If not, you will struggle to lease it out. Tip number 5, avoid a fixer-upper. If you're spending a lot of time, energy, money on a property, it's actually not worthwhile your time. Especially with the new compliance checks and the minimum standards, you're going to be spending a lot of money just to be able to lease out that property.
Yeah, good, very good tips at Bridie, and we've seen a lot of investors come unstuck with that last one in terms of the minimum standards that's required for a rental property now in Victoria. And just on the topic of tips, it's interesting because a few investors have come forward to me saying, how do I get tax benefits for my investment property? Now, once again, we would always advise any investor to go and seek professional advice from your accountant. But I can certainly say that in this last quarter coming up for the financial year, now is the time to think about having that chat with your accountant. What sort of tax benefits can I get from my investment property? If you've got a new property or whether you've done some renovations, then now is probably the time to think about, do I need a depreciation schedule? Do I need a quantity surveyor to come through the home and have a look? Once again, we can give you some advice on who to speak to in relation to that. Have a chat to your accountant. I'm sure they'll point you in the right direction. But thanks again for watching. It's been a pleasure delivering this information to you. If you did have any further questions for us, we'd love to hear from you. That could be, hey, I'm thinking of buying my first investment property, looking to expand, or if you've currently got your rental property with a rental property manager and it's not quite meeting your expectations, we'd certainly love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you next time.